欢迎收看《神秘文怪事》，大家好，我是团长。没有订阅的朋友，请按下订阅按钮，谢谢大家。加入我们优秀神秘文怪事团，拜托大家用力按下订阅，达到1000订阅，大家可留言告诉我。各位团员，今天我们来讲的怪事，伊隆·马斯克现在都在探索火星。我把上一集影片放在说明栏。今天我们来说后续主题。先提醒大家，影片最下方神秘文怪事订阅键定下去，请大家订阅，请拜托帮忙一下。今天让我带你们进入今天的故事吧。人类史上头一遭发射飞行器冲撞行星体，一直以来科学家都在努力避免让地球遭到撞击，否则人类可能就会灭亡。不过现在却有天文学家提出了另外一种的解决方法，那就是移居到其他星球。不久前他们观测到了一颗和地球是非常接近的行星，如果哪天地球真的毁灭了，可能可以搭太空船逃到别的星球上。另外一直梦想着带领人类上火星的科技狂人马斯克，最近他也卖股票套现了88亿美元，同时也卖掉了名下的13栋豪宅，就是为了要移民火星。而他现在住在一间号称是未来住宅的特殊组合屋里，体验住在火星上面的感觉。或许在将来的某天，星际指令将不再只是电影情节而已。
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
火箭发射，火光划破挤进夜空。
Falcon 9 and DART on NASA's first planetary defense test to intentionally crash into an asteroid.
美国太空总署 NASA 在美东时间11月24号凌晨，从加州的范登堡太空基地发射飞行器，对准的目标就是太空中的小行星。至于为什么要这样做呢？答案就是试试看人类以现在的科技，实地有没有办法改变小行星的轨道。这项名为双重小行星改造测试的任务，是把造价超过3亿美金的 SpaceX 火箭猎鹰9号送上太空，对准运转中的一对小行星迪迪莫斯和迪莫佛斯。这也是史上第一次以保卫地球为目的，测试发射飞行器重击行星体。
The brilliant scientists at NASA are actually launching a mission. It's called DART, the Double Asteroid Redirection Test. And what they're going to test is, can you send up a mission that can deflect an asteroid and steer it away from Earth if, God forbid, something like that were ever to happen?
尽管这个双重星系统对地球并不会产生威胁，只不过如果任务顺利的话，飞行器将在明年的9月或10月撞上迪莫佛斯。天文学家也可以借此观察晶体的运行轨道有没有被改变。
But in September 2022, it's actually minimized. They're going to be the closest that they are for 40 years. And that's going to let the telescopes here on the Earth get the best data possible of how much we deflected this asteroid.
But impacts of asteroids that affect the surface are much rarer. They happen on timescales of hundreds to thousands to millions of years, since the larger they are, the fewer there are, but also less difficult to find. Finding them early is important for advanced warning and to mitigate against potential future impact threats.
虽然每年都会有无数的小行星，还有小行星碎片冲向地球，不过大多数都会在大气层中燃烧，解体实际社会撞击地表的渺渺可数。但难报未来不会有超大的小行星直接朝地球撞过来。
Impact of the Earth by an asteroid large enough to do damage at the surface is an extremely rare event, but it's an inevitable event. We know that there are thousands of near-Earth asteroids out there, and there are thousands more that we don't know about, and that's why we need to continue this program for detection and tracking of the near-Earth object population to determine where and when the next significant impact could occur.
2013年就有颗巨大流星在俄罗斯中部坠毁，造成当地严重灾情。
A 20-meter-long space rock rushed to the Earth, passed through the atmosphere, and then exploded over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk.
当时这场天降劫难超过7000栋房屋损毁，1400多人受伤。因此，美国及欧洲航太总署在多年前就开始着手研究，希望能找到让小行星偏转轨道，避免和地球碰撞方法。例如， 使用太空飞行器的重地，将小行星慢慢拉离轨迹地球，保持安全距离。除了来自天外的威胁，其实光是地球上就潜伏着更大的危机，比起小行星撞击更有可能让人类毁灭。漫天风雪几乎快要遮蔽了行人的身影，就连不怕冷的铜像也都被白雪覆盖。你看温度计现在竟然是-47°C，对我们来说难以想象的温度。就在西伯利亚，我从小在雅库特长大，靠近极圈的地区，会这么冷并不让人意外，但问题是实在冷太久了。俄罗斯东部地区撒哈，去年12月中旬就降到-40°以下，还一度冷到-50°，也是该地区15年来的最低温。寒冷对这里的人来说只是小菜一碟，但因为去年夏天西伯利亚北部异常暖热，还有些地方热到-38°几个月内，让当地人彷佛经历了冰火二重天。
Yakutia is a cold, wintry place, she says. I didn't think it would ever get so hot here.
北部几个小镇去年夏日均温都比往年高了10度以上，动辄突破-30°，而炎热前燥的天气也早指去年。整个俄罗斯境内的森林野火停不下来，上百万公顷的野火疯狂燃烧，有些距离北极海甚至不到15公里。
A lot of forests would be heavily damaged and destroyed. With a total lack of will to solve the problem brings us to the fire catastrophe every year.
对西伯利亚人而言，所谓的地球之肺，不是只有亚马逊极圈的存在，是另外一个地球之肺，但这个肺同样也被大火严重呛伤。西伯利亚在2019年8月就爆发大规模野火，将近300万公顷的森林被烧光，让专家非常担心。
The Arctic has accumulated an awful lot of carbon, and we would be speeding it up if the fires got in there and started burning that carbon that's been locked away for thousands of years.
不寻常的热浪加速森林大火，增加二氧化碳排放，又加速永冻土融化，让其他温室气体跟住排出，变成全球暖化的恶性循环。极端天气愈演愈烈，同时地球上的人口数也不断增加。有科学家估算，几十年后地球可能不再适合人类居住，那该往哪里去呢？答案就是朝太空发展。太空移民常被拿来当科幻电影的题材，不过要朝向外太空发展，人类也必须先克服几个大条件。首先要面对的当然是重力，还有各种人类生存的必要条件，水还有空气等等。过去有天文学家在太空深处发现了一个尺寸还有运行轨道都很接近地球的行星，科学家称它为超级地球。
Scientists have been finding exoplanets that could be potentially habitable for some time now. There are hundreds of millions of them out there, and more found every day. There isn't a planet like ours anywhere in the universe that we know of. But now scientists say they have found exoplanets that could be more habitable than the Earth. But do they really exist?
天文学家认为发现这个星球的几率微乎其微，几乎只有100万分之一，真的非常幸运。不过到底是不适合人类居住，目前还是个未知数。
Oh, not a map. An invitation.
其实近年来，科学家不断尝试向外太空探索，已经找到了太阳系外数十个可能还有机会适合人类生活的星球。
We must remember, the universe is fascinating and very diverse, and the best place for life, such as super habitable worlds, might not be like Earth in any way we traditionally imagine.
3, 2, 1.
随着印有美国国旗与纳瑟标志的太空梭一起航向宇宙，大半夜来追太空舱的民众响起一阵欢呼。2019年，马斯克创办的太空科技公司 SpaceX 发射猎鹰9号升空上头，还搭载了一位特别的乘客。
So as the team has mentioned, there are no people on board Dragon today, but we do actually have one special passenger flying, and her name is Ripley.
雷普利取自电影《异形》的女主角，她的任务就是当人类先遣部队收集在太空舱起降时候的各种数据等，哪天要带真人上太空的时候，能够设计得更加舒适。
She is essentially full of sensors across her body, including the head, neck, and spine. For this mission, Ripley is going to use 10 out of her 30 sensors to give us all the information we need.
其实马斯克能称得上是太空移民的先导者，早早就开始规划要让人类移居火星。
We were faced with a choice. Which future do you want? Do you want the future where we become a spacefaring civilization and are in many worlds and are out there among the stars, or one where we are forever confined to Earth?
而这位科技狂人在最近卖掉了手上价值88亿美金的股票套现，更是出售了自己名下的最后一栋豪宅，只为了1元上火星的梦想。
Autos, Tesla down a little bit again today as we get some news that Musk has offloaded almost $10 billion.
从2020年5月初，马斯克就把名下5栋房产挂上市场贩售，包括位于加州洛杉矶被沙湾的豪宅，还有另外一间美国传奇演员 Gene Wilder 的故居，以及旧金山的庄园，全都拱手让人。
The property was originally listed for around $37 million, but the final deal closed at $32 million, which is well worth all you get with this 16,000 square feet mansion.
过去1年半以来，马斯克卖掉13栋豪宅，回收超过4090万美元。根据他的说法，有形资产只会成为负担，卖房子就是为了他的移民火星计划筹措资金。
There are really two fundamental paths. One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species.
最开始外界对这个说法半信半疑，不认为马斯克真的会卖掉所有房子，后来才发现是完整的。现在他也已经搬到由他所一手打造的城市星际基地 Starbase 中居住。
Welcome to Starbase, Texas. This is where SpaceX is building, testing, and even launching their Mars-bound rocket, Starship. Today I'm going to take you inside the gates and show you things that have never been shared outside of SpaceX. Best of all, we have the ultimate tour guide, Elon Musk, who answers all of my questions and gives us unbelievable insights to the rocket's development.
马斯克现在住在由新创公司所打造的预铸铁皮屋里，可不要看它外表普通，可是大有玄机。
What we've done is we've created a room module that actually folds up to 8.5 feet wide so it can be compatible with all the existing shipping logistics. That means these boxables, we can put 1,000 on a ship and send them by ocean. We can put 100 on a train. We can put them on a truck. We can pull them with a pickup truck.
可以在工厂大规模生产，降低新建成本，而且这个房子出厂时是折成一个盒子，非常方便运送外面分析。这样快速又不耗能的建筑刚好符合殖民外星计划的需求，而马斯克现在住在这里是遇袭后的火星生活。
Humanity will be a multi-planet species if we get cost per ton to orbit to the point where we can afford to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species.
Right.
So this is, at its heart, it is fundamentally an optimization of cost per ton to orbit and then ultimately cost per ton to the surface of Mars.
至于为什么选择火星，事实上火星是太阳系中最接近地球的星球，除了1天的时间接近24小时，还有大气层很多结冰的水，也难怪马斯克会把移民火星当成梦想。既然如此，那火星上会不会也有外星生命？也难怪马斯克会把移民火星当成梦想。既然如此，那火星上会不会也有外星生命存在呢？存在呢？电影中太空人全副武装，拿着探照灯登陆火星，火星上真的有生命存在吗？
Ladies and gentlemen, Martian ambassador is going to say a few words. Come on down, Mr. Ambassador.
从古至今，人类都渴望与未知接触。1977年由 NASA 发射的航海家1号探测器就带了一张金唱片出发，上面有着包括國語、閩南語在内的55種語言，準備向外星人問好。
您好，您食飽未？有閒就來阮遮坐哦。
Entering a very exciting time in human technology, and with the number of habitable worlds out there, it's likely that we'll finally discover life on a distant world.
究竟宇宙间除了人类还有没有其他生命体外，不得而知。不过相信随着科技不断进步，依据太空或许不只是梦想，终有一天，我们看抬头所看到的天空将不再遥不可及。许多人还是选择宁可信其有，请大家自行判断。希望您会喜欢今天主题。 也欢迎在下方留言分享你对这些的看法，大家帮我按赞、订阅、开小铃铛，谢谢，感谢收看，下次再见。